This is the game Energy Tycoon. It has a playing field, it has grassy areas, it has mountainous areas, it has hot spots, it has rivers, and it also has an ocean nearby. And the instructions for the game can be understood by clicking on the sun in the upper left-hand corner. It explains that you are to select various sources of energy: wind power, geothermal power, biomass power, hydropower, solar power, or ocean power. And as you select these devices, your goal is to place them on the playing field. And as you place them on the playing field, a question will come up about that source of energy, and if you answer the question correctly, you get to place that unit, and each unit is worth 1,000 watts. And as you place these units, they cost you money. You start with $200,000 in funds, and various sources of technology cost you more or less money, and they operate more or less time based on perhaps wind conditions, the ocean currents, or the amount of sun that might be shining. And your goal is to eventually generate up to 5,000 watts, which is sufficient to place a home, at which point you get to place your home. And as the game continues, you answer questions, and if you get them right, you earn more toward placing homes. If you can place up to 10 homes on a playing field and power them all with 5,000 watts, each home with 5,000 watts, you win the game. So here's how the game works. I'm going to try some wind power, a little wind turbine, and notice the plane, or the box, is green. There's no issue. I can place this anywhere. If I try to place it in the water, there's an issue. So the game is designed to force the person to place the device in an appropriate area. So I'm going to place it here in the grassy area, and a question comes up. Wind energy is one of the oldest renewable energy technologies. That's correct. And by the way, I know you can't hear the sound, but there is music playing in the background, and when I answer correct, a little bell goes off. If I answer incorrectly, a buzzer goes off. I do know the answer to this one is yes. And it says I get to place the 1,000-watt device, and it's going to cost me $2,000, and it's going to operate 25% of the time. And all these numbers are based on data from the Department of Energy. A wind turbine runs approximately 25% of the time. I'm going to say OK to this. There's my wind turbine. Notice my funds have dropped by $2,000, and notice that I'm now generating 250 watts. Again, because of the fact that it operates 25% of the time. So let me place another wind turbine. Notice I can't place it right next to the other wind turbine. And this is just like in real life, you need to space your wind turbine. So I'm going to put one over here. A wind turbine subsystem usually contains a drivetrain, gearbox, and generator. That's yes. So now I get to place another device. Again, it's going to cost me $2,000. I'm going to say OK, and there it is. So I'm going to place several of these things, and I don't have time to read through all the questions for you, so I'll click and I'll read them and I'll answer them. And that's a yes to that one. I get to place the device, and notice my money's going down, my wattage is going up. Let me try some geothermal energy. Notice I can't place it anywhere. I got to find, what is an appropriate possible place to search for geothermal energy. Well, there's a little clue here, these little hot spots in the mountains, although some of these spots are hidden in behind the mountains, but here's an obvious one. Click. Geothermal heat pumps are currently used in all 50 states. That's true. And I got it right. That device is going to cost me $700, and it's going to operate 84% of the time, much more than wind energy. OK to that one. Notice we're pumping some heat out of the ground. The wattage is going up. I'll try some hydropower, and I'll have to place that in the river. And it says here, thousands of the Greeks use hydropower in the form of a water wheel. That's true. OK to that one. I'll try another water wheel. Let's see here. Let me click yes to that one. I got that one right. There's a couple water wheels. Let me try some corn. And let's see. One concern about biomass is that it is using materials that might be used for food. That's true. Got that correct. I'll place some more corn. Notice you can place corn right next to each other. There's no requirement to space your cornfield. And let me continue answering questions. I got that one correct. I happen to know most of these answers, so I'm getting them right. Another one out of the biomass area, the corn. And that's true, yes, I got that one correct. Let me try some solar panels. And again, I'm going to place a solar panel here. Solar panels produce AC electricity. That's no. Correct on that one. Another solar panel. And notice I can't place the solar panel behind. Notice the spot is red. The reason for that is it would be shaded by the sun. The sun's off to the lower or the upper right hand corner, so I need to place a solar panel. It's these solar panels in rows, so I'll put one over here. Do solar panels store electricity? No, they don't. They produce electricity, but they don't store it. And I got that one correct. And let's try another solar panel. Notice again, I can't place them in front. I can place on the side. Solar panels usage is growing about 10 times faster than oil usage. I'm not sure on that one. I think that's a yes. I got that correct. And now at this point it says I'm producing 5,000 watts of energy, and I now must place my home. So I'm going to go ahead and say OK to that. Notice all the icons for energy sources are grayed out. I'm going to grab the house, and I got to think carefully where to put this home. I can't just place it randomly within the field. I'll use up valuable space to place energy devices. I'll go over here. I'm going to put the home over here. And there's my house. Notice I'm down to $176,900. At this point I have 110 watts left, and I have one home placed. And again, the goal of this game is to continue placing energy sources and continue building homes. Every 5,000 watts of energy earns you a home. If you earn 10 homes, if you can place 10 homes strategically here and power them, each with 5,000 watts, you win the game. Let me just show you the ocean power. Here it is here. Place that out in the ocean. Let's see here. Energy from the ocean is in the form of rising and falling tides, or in the form of rising and falling tides, uses gravitational energy of the sun and moon. That's yes. And I get to place that thing. Notice that's a very expensive device. And all these costs, again, are based on true costs as determined by the Department of Energy. So if you are to start placing devices in the ocean, they're going to be very costly. Some of the other ones are less expensive, like perhaps corn. But the game becomes very strategic because you're trying to not use up all your funds and yet power 10 homes. OK to this one. And that's how the game proceeds. Again, that's Energy Tycoon. Thank you for listening. Hello, testing the Mac microphone.